Hello, students. Now we shall analyze the stanza 2 of the Preludes written by T.S. Eliot. We have seen in the stanza 1 how the poet depicts the scene of the winter evening of the streets of a city, how he expresses his feelings through that depiction that the cities or the streets are full of dirt and sordidness. How the environment of the city is getting polluted, and how the people of the city have become mechanical. That they in the day they work, in the evening they return to their home, and then they get their food meal and then sleep and then again wake up and go to the work. So this is a kind of machine that the people are working in the city life, whereas the environment has totally become polluted. The newspapers are also blown by the wind, gusty winds, as well as the other um, dirt or bad smell can also be observed there. The poet also speaks about the lingering smell of food in the evening. That is, that the people now feel hungry and they are ready to eat the supper, the dinner. In this way, he has depicted the one scene that is of the winter evening in the stanza 1. Now we come to the stanza 2. Let's see what the poet says here. Let me recite the lines first. The morning comes to consciousness of faint stale smells of beer from the sawdust trampled street, with all its muddy feet that praise to early coffee stains, with the other masquerades that time resumes. One thinks of all the hands that are raising dingy shades in a thousand furnished rooms. So, this is the second star that we are going now to analyze. You know very well that these are from the Preludes written by T.S. Eliot. These first two stanzas, stanza number 1 and stanzas number 2, both they describe about the landscape and the atmosphere. That is, these stanzas are talking about the streets, that is the landscape, street of the cities, as well as about the atmosphere, what kind of atmosphere or environment is there. That means to say that the polluted environment we see in the streets of the city. In the first stanza, was the depiction of the sordid winter evening, full of lingering smells of food and deserted look as well as. Now, in this second stanza, we have the description or the picture of the morning scene. Evening in the first, now we are with the morning. So, when the day opens, when there is a dawn, that is the advent of the day. So it is greeted with the smell of beer from the streets. Because the beer, the wine has been taken by the people of the city in the night in order to get sleep. So that smell of beer can be felt early in the morning in the street. So the morning, you see how the poet speaks, I mean, figuratively, poetically, that the morning is greeted by the smell, with the smells of beer from the streets. And these streets are also covered with the sawdust, as well as this sawdust has been, sawdust लकड़ी का बुरादा, it has been trampled by the dirty feet of the crowd. So the poet is here drawing the picture of the morning. So now there is the daybreak, and there you can smell, you can feel the bad smell of beer. Then you see that the sawdust of the way has been trampled by the dirty feet of the people or the crowd, which is now moving or pressing towards the early coffee stand. Means the people now get up and in hurriedly they are going to the coffee stand in order to drink. So this has been become the practice. This has been become the tradition, not a tradition but a habit of the people of the city, that when they get up early in the morning, they go to the coffee stands. Today, we also see in our own country, in our cities, and in our villages as well as, that many people, when they get up early in the morning, they rush to the tea stand, tea shop, in order to get the first tea of the morning of the day. So that kind of the thing was at that time in England or in London city that the poet is here depicting. So it's not a specific thing here, but it's a general. The poet is generalizing this thing. So the dawn, that is the morning, appears as if it was asleep and has now awakened. So the consciousness, ऐसे लगता है जैसे जो है कि पहले ये सुबह सो रही थी और अब ये जाग रही है, उदय हो रही है. So consciousness, the word, we see the consciousness, that the people of the street or the city were sleeping, and they were intoxicated. Not only sleeping, but they were intoxicated with the beer. They were having the sound sleep, and from that intoxication now they have got up in the morning, and then they are moving towards the coffee stand. So this is what here the poet wants to say, convey. So the faint dirty smells of beer from the sea dust that we are also feeling from the sawdust, लकड़ी के बुरादे से भी बहुत ही गंदी स्मेल आ रही है. So here poet says in these lines that it appears that this sawdust has been trampled by the dirty feet of the crowd, which who are going for the early coffee stand. And then among the numerous activities which are peculiar to morning time, so one activity, get up and then go to the coffee stand. Then another activities of the morning, here the poet is describing or depicting. So the people are ready for another activity of the morning time, when the stage is being set for the shores of the busy day. So now they are ready to do other activities of the day. सो द स्टेज इज बीइंग सेट, बिल्कुल तैयार है और अब वो अपनी दूसरी एक्टिविटीज शुरू करेंगे. सो अब जैसे क्या दूसरी एक्टिविटीज, सो एवरीथिंग दैट हैज बिकम द हैबिट. नाउ वन मे इजीली सी देयर that all the hands of these people who are living in these houses, they are raising up the squalid window sheets or the shades. खिड़कियों के जो पर्दे लगे हुए हैं, सीट लगी हुई हैं, उनको सब एक साथ अपने अपने घरों से जो है कि उनको हटा रहे हैं. इन 1,000 फर्निश्ड रूम्स, माने हजारों जो है कि कमरे हैं, हजारों हाउसेज हैं, उनमें लोग एक साथ जो है कि अपने अपने खिड़कियों के पर्दे हटा रहे हैं. क्यों हटा रहे हैं? सो दैट द लाइट ऑफ द सन कैन एंटर इनटू देयर हाउस. सो दिस इज अनदर एक्टिविटी that is being done by the crowd in the morning. This brief description of the morning scene in the streets and in the houses throws light on modern civilization. So this is the modern civilization. So here the poet depicts the activities of the modern civilization, how it is, but even then it is hollow. It has nothing. He means to say that it is a desolate. There is deserted look on every face you can observe there. So they deal with the more sordid aspect of the city life, centering round the characters degraded by the poverty and gross sexuality. So the characters of the people about whom here the poet is speaking, that they are poor, but these activities have become mechanical. So he also criticizes, or we can say also depicts the poverty as well as the gross sexuality, and the modern civilization has been degraded by this. सो द मॉर्निंग कम्स टू ओके कॉन्शियसनेस अपन ने देख लिया है. मॉर्निंग इज द सब्जेक्ट हियर एंड इट्स कॉन्शियस ऑफ द स्मेल्स ऑफ द सिटी. सो इट इज़ कॉन्शियस, मॉर्निंग इज़ वेरी कॉन्शियस, अपन उसको महसूस कर सकते हैं. नाउ the olfactory imagery, we have to see the imagery that the poet is here depicting. Smell of sticks in passageways. This is the phrase that has been used in the first stanza, and the imagery was the smell of sticks in the passageway in the evening. So in the evening we were smelling the lingering smell of the food. So here this in the second stanza, it has been replaced with the day after olfactory imagery. What is that? Faint stale smells of beer. So smell of sticks in passageways, वही जो रास्ते में डेड लीव्स थी, और इसके अलावा जो है कि और कई न्यूज़पेपर वगैरह पैरों में आ रहे थे, उनकी जो स्मेल थी वो यहाँ पे दिन में मॉर्निंग में चेंज होकर के कैसे आ रही है? फेंट स्टेल स्मेल्स ऑफ बियर की स्मेल हम जो है कि यहाँ कर रहे हैं. सो सी हियर कि हाउ द पोइट डिपिक्ट्स बोथ द सीन्स. सो इट प्लेसेस द पोएम इन टाइम, द मॉर्निंग, ओके, sensory experiences of orderly, narcotic food. So here coffee, you see, coffee is the narcotic food here, and people are habit of taking it. Without taking coffee or tea in the morning, they cannot start for their routine life. So it is a kind of drink consumption, okay. So this stimulate, the stimulant of coffee replaces the depressant of the beer. Okay, then we see again in this stanza the se sound, se comes consciousness, stay, smells, sawdust, street and stains. These all words, they also echo the sibilance of the first stanza that we had, the same sound, same alliteration of the sound. And this brings again a hissing sound as in the stanza 1. And this is the sinister quality or the sound of this poem. That is the disgusting sound, that is one of the dangerous sound, fearing sound, terrible sound. The poem extends the observation to the entire city, okay, generalizing. The poet generalizes it through the hyperbole, just like 1,000 furnished rooms. Means the same activity is being done in the 1,000 rooms at the same time, furnished rooms, but they are cheap and impersonal. So this points to the uniformity and degradation of lives living in a city organized by a clock time. So at clock time, mechanical again shows the uniformity because the same thing is being done at the same time by the thousands of people. So general. Then we see the emotive adjectives like sawdust, trampled, muddy, and dingy. They make the city feel disgusting. The words themselves reflect or shows the disgusting or the bad smell of the city or the modern life. The metaphor that we here have with the other masquerades, it suggests that the people have worn the masks. That is, they are playing their roles, wearing the masks, and pretending that they have a meaningful life. अपने आप को ऐसे शो करते हैं ये सब लोग कि जैसे वो बहुत ही कोई बढ़िया लाइफ, अच्छी अर्थपूर्ण वाली लाइफ जो है जी रहे हैं, जबकि ऐसा नहीं है. So, with the claim that the time resumes the masquerades, time is personified as the director of the play of the city life. So, time is the director here. Because in the winter, what happens? Early in the morning, when they get up, they go to the coffee stand, then they raise their curtains of the blinds, and then they start their other activities of the day. So, it's a mechanical. So this time is industrial time. इंडस्ट्रीज हो गई हैं, इंडस्ट्री में जाना है, काम करना है, and so it is mechanically organized by the clock. So this is how the poet depicts the morning scene of a street of the city life. So this is what for today, and thank you very much for listening to me. And next time we will go with the last two stanzas of this poem. Till then, bye bye. Thank you very much.